Phelan. The events in Brighton in Melbourne last night, coming so soon after the attack in London, have shocked all Australians. This terrorist attack by a known criminal, a man who was only recently released on parole, is a shocking, cowardly crime. It is a terrorist attack, and it underlines the need for us to be constantly vigilant, never to be deterred, always defiant in the face of Islamist terrorism. Now, I want to say how much all Australians admire and thank the Victoria Police for their decisive and courageous intervention. They responded swiftly, and as they always do, as our police and security services and the ADF do. They put their lives on the line to keep us safe. 3 police officers were injured, and we wish them a speedy recovery. As the Victorian Police Commissioner has confirmed, the injuries are not life-threatening. They killed the offender swiftly and therefore brought the incident to an end. He killed a receptionist in the block of serviced apartments, and we offer our condolences to the victim's family in the wake of that shocking murder. Now, there is a major investigation going on at the moment. There is a lot about this incident that is not known, but we do know it was a terrorist attack, and he has claimed, the offender claimed that quite specifically. Now, I've had briefings from my security chiefs, counter-terrorism coordinator, from Acting Police Commissioner Phelan, the Director General of ASIO, and with senior colleagues. What is clear here is that we face a growing threat from Islamist terrorism in Australia, in our region and around the world. We will continue to defy it, and we will continue to defeat it. We have the best law enforcement agencies in the world, the best security services in the world, and our ADF, the best in the world, all of them working together to keep us safe. But there are some very, very grave questions, and I have raised these today with the Victorian Premier, whom I called last night and I called again this morning. How was this man on parole? He had a long record of violence, a very long record of violence. He had been charged with a terrorist offence some years ago and had been acquitted. He was known to have connections, at least in the past, with violent extremism. But he was a known violent offender. How was he on parole? Now, at the COAG meeting with the premiers and chief ministers later this week, we will be, as I've arranged, we'll be getting a report from my counter-terrorism coordinator, and we'll be discussing a number of issues relating to our response to terrorism, including the protection of places of mass gathering, which has been a key priority work that is going on at the moment. But this issue of parole has to be addressed. There have been too many cases of people on parole committing violent offences of this kind. Now, I have raised these important issues of counter-terrorism issues with premiers before. My government has taken the lead in keeping Australians safe. Shortly after I became Prime Minister, I went to COAG and I asked premiers to provide support, which they did, to put in place a post-sentence detention regime so that people who have been convicted of serious terrorist offences or terrorism offences and are found not to be not to have rehabilitated and are found to be a continuing threat can be detained in prison after the expiry of their sentence. That's a very important measure. We now need to address this issue of parole, and that will be a high priority at the COAG meeting. We've also, as you know, given the ADF the ability to kill terrorists in the field in the Middle East, whether they are in a combatant role or not. Prior to that legislation being passed, they were limited in the circumstances they could target terrorists in the field. And of course, in addition to other legal changes, we have provided record funding to the Australian Federal Police so that it has the means, the resources to investigate and deal with the new threats, criminal threats that we face right across the board.